Welcome to Untamed and Unfiltered Wellness, the podcast where we're tearing up the rulebook of conventional wellness because one size fits all never fits anyone. I'm your host, Jo Swenson, integrative health coach, herbalist, and the CEO and founder of Olivia Bell, a comprehensive lifestyle wellness company. Today's episode is for anybody who's been struggling with health goals, whether that's weight loss, fitness, nutrition, all those things. I'm going to get brutally honest about why it's so freaking hard to restart after we've stopped, why sticking to it is even harder, and what actually works. We all know the benefits of exercise, eating right, working out. Heck, I've built my company helping people become healthier versions of themselves. But the question I keep getting asked over and over again is, why is this so hard? When you envision yourself being the healthiest version of you that you can be, and when I envision that same thing for myself, they probably look nothing alike. But that's the way it's supposed to be. We are often sold an image of what we will look like if we join a particular program or buy a certain product, whether that's weight loss, nutrition, meal planning, exercising. We see that picture and we think, yes, finally, I'm all in. But the reality is that person looks nothing like you. They're probably nowhere near the same age as you, and they're not dealing with the same health challenges you are. If you're over 35 and you question why everything feels so much harder than it used to be, why sleep sucks, your energy's zapped, why the foods you used to eat no longer agree with you anymore, and God forbid you get a cut or a scrape, it takes 13 weeks to heal. You're not crazy and you're not falling apart. Our bodies are changing, but the thing is, most people aren't talking about what that really means. So I'm going to cut through the bullshit of what we're sold, and I'm going to talk about why we struggle to follow through with health goals that we set for ourselves and what actually works. First things first, motivation is overrated. Yes, I said that. Motivation is like a sparkler on the 4th of July. It is bright and exciting at first, but then it burns out, and before you know it, you're left standing in the dark. Here's the truth. Motivation will get you started, but it is not going to keep you going. That's where accountability comes in. And let's be real. Most of us are terrible at holding ourselves accountable. We let ourselves off the hook way too easily. We're taught to set the goal. We get bored. We drift away because there's nobody watching. When you have somebody in your corner, an accountability partner, somebody to check in on you, challenge you, and celebrate your wins, your chances of sticking with it will skyrocket. And that's exactly what accountability does. It bridges the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. You're not failing because you're setting the wrong goals. You're struggling because you haven't set the right goals for who you are right now. The goals that fired you up in your 20s or your 30s don't match what your body, mind, and life are like today. Real health starts with goals that honor where you're at, where your energy is, your responsibilities, your priorities, so you can finally make changes that feel good, fit into your life, and actually last. I'm in my mid-50s now, and let me tell you, what healthy looks like to me today is worlds apart from what it looked like in my 20s and 30s. And it should. We evolve, and our goals should evolve with us. So here's the question I want you to answer today, right now. What does the healthiest version of you actually look like right now at this stage of your life? When I set goals now, I use visualization. Visualization is not just for pro athletes or gurus. It's actually a powerful tool. It's used by executives and entrepreneurs, performers, artists, anybody working on personal goals. People trying to build healthier habits, manage stress, and shift their mindsets use visualization to imagine success and prime themselves to take action. Ask any psychologist. They're going to tell you the same thing. I imagine myself now sitting down with a friend that I haven't seen in months because she's been traveling the country. I imagine meeting her and we hug and embrace because we're so happy to see each other. And she stops and goes, "Oh my God, you look fantastic. What the heck have you been doing?" That visualization used to be all about a number on a scale. I'd be skinny, rocking a fabulous outfit. I'd have the perfect hair, makeup, shoes, all of it. My goals were set for an event, for the bikini body. Today, screw that. It's all about how I feel, not what I look like. It's about feeling stronger, moving easier, sleeping better, and having energy. Things that actually make a difference in my day-to-day life. So what does that look like for you? Is it being able to get off the floor after playing with the kids or the grandkids? Is it not having to be on meds to lower your blood pressure, your cholesterol, or to help you sleep? Is it to have arms that look like you're going to kick somebody's ass instead of flapping in the wind when you lift your arm up? What is that goal? If you want to talk about numbers, let's talk about numbers. It's definitely not the number on your scale. And if you are still obsessing over that number, it is time that you break up with your scale. Toss it, hide it in a closet, do whatever you need to do. Here is the real truth. If you need a number to focus on your waist to hip ratio, because that is a better predictor of your health than the number glaring back to you from your scale. What is waist to hip ratio? It's the circumference of your waist divided by the circumference of your hips. Don't freak out. A lot of you are going, heck no, I am not doing that. Hear me out. This is going to tell you how much fat you're carrying around your middle compared to your hips. That's really, really important because belly fat, especially the visceral fat, is a major risk factor for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is the trifecta. It's high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and high blood sugar. How do you do this? I want you to grab a flexible measuring tape, a cloth one, the kind that you have in your sewing kit, not the metal one in your toolbox. I want you to measure your waist, wrap the tape around your natural waistline. That is, for most people, just above our belly button. Don't suck it in and don't push it out. Nobody's going to see these numbers. It's just for you. And then measure your hips. Wrap the tape around the whitest part of your butt. And for some people, that might be just below the butt where your hips stick out. It's not necessarily where your hip bones are. Divide your waist measurement by your hip measurement. This works for inches as well as the metric system because we're looking at a ratio. I'm going to give you an example. If your waist is 34 inches and your hips are 40 inches, you divide 34 divided by 40, and you're going to get a 0.85. So what's a healthy waist to hip ratio? For women, below 0.85 is generally considered healthy. For men, it's 0.90. A higher ratio means you have more abdominal fat, which puts you in a higher risk category of serious health problems, even if your weight is considered normal. That is why your scale is lying to you. Stop obsessing over your weight. Waist to hip ratio is a much better indicator. And if you need a number to define your healthiest version of yourself, let it be that number. Here's the deal. You can't just set the goal. You have to define it so clear and specifically beyond the comfort zone. Don't just hit the minimums. Because here's what nobody tells you. You need to set a time frame to maintain that goal. It's not enough to say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's too vague. You need to say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and maintain it for a year. That's what makes your success stick. That's the only way you stop the cycle of hitting the goal, backsliding, and wondering what went wrong. It's really about taking that bigger goal and breaking it down into smaller, manageable chunks. I don't want you to overcomplicate your goals. I want you to keep them simple. Define your big, almost out of reach goal. Visualize yourself living in that goal for a year and then break it into 2 or 3 milestones to get you there. Celebrate each milestone and then set the next one. Here's your takeaways. Pick one health goal. That could be having more energy. That could be sleeping better. That could be having a waist to hip ratio of 0.83. I want you to visualize yourself not just reaching that goal, but maintaining it for a year. If a year seems too long, then I want you to break it into 6 months. Because if you can do it for 6 months, you can do it for a year. Now ask yourself, what are the markers that define success? If it's the waist to hip ratio, that's an easy thing to calculate. If it's your energy levels, what does that mean? Does that mean getting enough sleep so that you wake up in the morning, you feel fantastic? Or does that mean you're avoiding that afternoon crash because you ate a crappy lunch? Or is it being able to get off the floor without the help of anybody or anything? Make sure you define the markers that define that success. And here's the most important part. I don't want you to do this alone. Accountability is the game changer here, and most people ignore that. But that's what I do for my clients. If you're tired of setting goals and feel like you're always starting over, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'll work with you to set goals that actually make sense for your life right now, find strategies that fit your day-to-day, and support you so that you can stick with it. Because you deserve to feel strong, healthy, and like yourself again. I'd love to help you get there. If that's what you want, head over to my website, check out the packages that I offer. If you just want to book a call and have a conversation, go for it. I offer 30 and 60-minute calls. We can meet once, call it a day. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who's been stuck on the scale. If you need more honest, no BS wellness advice, head over to our website at olivia-bell.com or check us out on social media at Olivia Bell Holistics, all one word. I hope you find some time today for some peace, some plants, and some pause. Thank you so much for listening to Untamed and Unfiltered Wellness.